It was recently reported that the price of new cars is now averaging $47,148, and car loans are becoming as much as mortgage payments. This is insane. Hey, what's up guys? It's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. Let's talk about cars and purchasing cars, because the prices of vehicles have gone up with inflation due to the pandemic, due to the supply chain being all out of whack. You guys know the drill and most likely know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, I've covered other videos that talk about our economy and where we're headed. All right, so I subscribe to an e-newsletter, a daily e-newsletter called the Daily Upside, and in that newsletter they were talking about how car loans and the payments associated with those are now as much as mortgage payments. Now, according to Blue Book, the average cost of a new car is up 13% year over year, which is contributing to that average price of over $47,000. That is nuts. And in addition to that, the car loans that are associated with those new car purchases is now averaging a 5.2% interest rate. I can't even believe that, because that is almost as much as what mortgage rates are going for. And so if I'm thinking about more in mortgage rates and more in car interest rates, this is a lot to deal with. Okay, I also wanted to show this chart that I found on CNBC.com that talks about the interest rate that you might get with a car loan, how much interest you'll actually pay on that particular loan. So it says here, the higher interest rates significantly increase the total amount borrowers pay for their $30,000 72-month auto loans. So if you had only gotten a 1% interest rate on your car loan, then you'd only be paying $921 per month. But now, since the average interest rate is over 5%, let's take a look at that. 5% means you're paying $4,787 on interest alone. And God forbid if you got yourself into a car loan with a 10% interest rate, you'd be paying over $10,000 in interest. That's just towards the interest. That's not making any additional payments towards the principal of the car loan, in which you want to do that so that you can officially own your car outright. Now, according to Edmunds, a record 12.7% of people who took out car loans to pay for their new car purchase agreed to paying at least $1,000 in monthly payments towards that car loan. That is ridiculous, and that is as much as some people's mortgages. And I know for sure it's definitely as much as some people's rent. And I can't imagine just putting $1,000 towards your rent and $1,000 towards your car loan, especially if you're just making an average salary that's barely covering those two things. This puts you at risk of being upside down on your car loan. Now, being upside down simply means that you owe more than what the car is worth. And remember, a car is a depreciating asset, especially a new car. New cars will depreciate as much as 20% in the first year after you drive it off the lot, and 10% every year after that. Now, if you're upside down on your car loan currently and you need to figure out what to do, I did a whole video on how to do exactly that. I will link to that up here in the cards for you to check out. Okay, so there is some slightly good news that is happening around this conversation of purchasing a car. According to MarketWatch, used car prices are normalizing, and so you'll see they have this little Manheim seasonally adjusted vehicle price index. Guys, I have never heard of this chart, but I am hoping that it helps us figure out what to do if we are in the market for purchasing a new car. So used car prices are stabilizing. Now, last year in 2021, we saw used car prices go up by 40%. That was one of the highest cost of consumer goods that actually increased due to the pandemic and due to inflation. Now we're seeing it drop, and so if you are in the market for buying a new car or a replacement vehicle, I have 3 tips, 3 pieces of advice for you to consider. Okay, number 1, always buy used and not new, especially if this is going to be a second car or replacement car. Buying used gives you, I think, more options and also just peace of mind knowing that you are not buying something that is automatically depreciating so much within that first year. Number 2 is you'll want to set up a monthly sinking fund. This piece of advice is so crucial. This is how you get yourself away from this mentality of I always need to get a car loan in order to buy a car. You do not. I know because I'm living proof of being able to save up the cash for a replacement car and paying for said car in all cash. So what you're going to do is set up a sinking fund, which means you are going to be paying yourself monthly contributions into a separate savings account for that car, and you are going to make those monthly contributions until you have the entire amount saved up for the purchase of the car. So I did this with my 2015 Subaru Forester. My husband and I saved up for several years because we knew that this was something that we were going to have to purchase. You know that you are going to eventually have to replace your car, whether that be in 5 years or next year or 10 years from now. You know that's going to happen because cars don't last forever. And so if we know that, then we can go ahead and start opening up that account, making the monthly contributions every single month. Number 3, this piece of advice is also kind of puts everything together. You'll want to research and negotiate. Research exactly what kind of vehicle that you want. Look for older vehicles that are maybe 3 to 5 years older than the current year that we're in, and then you can kind of pick around and see what the price ranges are for that. A tool that I like to use to help me with my research is Consumer Reports. I like using Consumer Reports. It is a paid subscription to go online. It's $7 a month, at least it was when I was doing it, $7 a month to get on there and just look for, I think it's unbiased. Kyle has his other opinions because he sees that there are trends in which Toyota and Subaru are kind of constantly always ranked highest among the cars that they thoroughly review. But that's what I love about Consumer Reports, is that they have a thorough review and they actually test drive and look at all of the function features and safety features of all of these vehicles. And so this is what I personally like to use. Maybe you use something else. Maybe you'll go on Edmunds or Kelley Blue Book. You talk to your dad who's a car enthusiast. Go out there and do your own research so that you know exactly what to look for. Then you can start shopping used car lots, or ideally going with a private owner. When we purchased our Subaru, we went through a pre-owned used car dealership, and I did not enjoy my experience. It was a lot of waiting around, even though we had the cash, even though we knew exactly what we wanted and said we want that car, it still was just kind of a mess. I much prefer to work with a private owner who loves cash. And so what I do is I end up writing a cashier's check, going to the bank, getting that, and submitting that over to the private owner. They hand me over their title and it's done. It's a very simple, no mess kind of transaction, and I feel like all major purchases need to be this simple. Now, if you're thinking there's no way that I could have the discipline to set aside the cash for a major car purchase, which now is becoming more and more like $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 or more, then you definitely need to check out my How to Control Your Spending workbook, which helps you rein in that confidence, that money confidence that might be hiding, and get you away from this feeling of money is scarce and start viewing money as as opportunity. That link for the workbook is listed below, and by the way, if you click that link below, it will give you a discount. It is on sale for that workbook to help you start figuring out exactly how you can fit in this car sinking fund into your budget so that you feel confident, hey, I'm gonna get this car built up in cash over the next 3 years, and I will be in a really good spot to purchase that car so I can get away from these $1,000 monthly payments and continue to have that purposeful debt-free lifestyle. If you like this one, give it a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.